Chemistry Textbook 5.1, title The States of Matter Revisited. Today we'll be still talking about the 3 states of matter, but in more details and looking more into this topic. Firstly, we humans can't live without oxygen because it is oxygen that let us breathe in oxygen so that we can live. Without oxygen, we will die. So, therefore, oxygen is very important for us humans. There are oxygens all around us for us to survive. And oxygen is a state of gas. That means that oxygen is gas. The other 2 states of matter are liquid and solid. Gas is one of the states of matter. And particles in gas are very far away from each other. That is why gas can be moved around without touching anything, and even the particles inside does not meet each other at all. The particles between each other have very weak force, and that means that the particles would not touch each other because it have very weak force. There are also some properties of gas that I can tell you. Gas can fill up a whole container without the particles touching each other. Gas takes up the whole space of the container, but still the particles does not touch each other. And gases can flow and float around, while liquid and solid can't. And gas can be compressed. Now we will talk about liquid. When gas is cooled down to negative 184 Celsius, gas will turn into liquid. And this process is called condensation, when gas turns into liquid. When liquid is the second state of matter in this situation. Liquids can have the same mass when it changes, but the particles in liquid are closer to each other and have more force than the particles in gas. That is why that we can touch liquid, and liquids can change shape if you put it in different containers. Now let us talk about some properties of liquid. Liquid have a fixed volume. That means even if you move it from one container to another, it will still have the same volume no matter how much you do if you don't spill it out. If you spill it out, then the volume must change. But if you are careful, the volume actually does not change at all. It will stay the same no matter in any container, unless those that can take away water. Liquids change their shape by moving into other containers. If they are not moved into other shaped containers, they won't change their shape. Liquids can flow. So same as the gas, liquids can flow but not float. Liquids can be only slightly compressed, while gas can be compressed a lot. Now let's talk about solid. At negative 218 Celsius, oxygen changes from the liquid state to the solid state. That change of state is called freezing. When liquids change into solid, it will be called freezing. Solid oxygen behaves differently from oxygen in the gas or oxygen in the liquid because this is in solid form, and this makes it very different. Solid has some properties that is also a lot different than liquid and gas. Solid is a fixed shape and volume. That means that it can't change shape and can't change volume unless under some special situations. unless it won't change and it will stay the same for as long as it can. Solids cannot be compressed. Like liquids can be compressed a little and gas can be totally compressed, but to solid it can never be compressed. And solids can't float. Liquid and gas can flow, but solids can't float. So solid is very different from liquid and gas. It is the state of matter that is the most different between each other. The particles between solids are very close to each other. They have very strong force between each other, and the particles are almost stuck to each other. That's why we can't change the shape of a solid and it can't float around. And there are also more changes of state that are more complicated, but these are the three main ones that we usually use and usually see in our daily life. There are also a lot more different ways on how these three states of matter change between each other, but this is not our topic for today. Thank you.